गुरुदेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोर्मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो. Ram Ram Ram. So today we will be discussing about a particular Sukthirathnani. So as previously stated, we have completed the first and second Sukthirathnani. First one taken from Abhignana Shakuntalam, Snigdha Jana Sambhibhaktam Hi Dukkham Sakhya Vedanam Bhavati. The sorrow divided among your close ones becomes tolerable. Second one taken from Bhasa Swapna Vasavadattam, which was Chakrara Panktiri Vagachati Bhagya Panktihi, which means
series of misfortunes and series of fortunes and misfortunes evolved like the spokes of a wheel.
Yeah, so the
evolved like a wheel.
Yeah, so the fortune of luck acts like the spokes of wheels, which are sometimes up and which are sometimes down. So they move as per the spokes of the wheel. So today we will start the third Sukthirathnani. So before that, as usual, we will discuss the source that it is taken from. So Rohan was of the opinion that it is probably from Malavika Agnimitram, but it is actually from Vishakhadatta's Mudrarakshasam. Vishakhadatta's Mudrarakshasam. So as usual, we'll again discuss a little bit about the Kavi, the poet, then we'll go into the story, and then we'll come to the meaning. So now, anyone knows anything about Vishakhadatta or Mudrarakshasam before we can start? Okay, so I will start with it. So as I've told, Vishakhadatta is the poet or the author of this particular work, Mudrarakshasam. As usual, the same statements. We don't know anything much about the Kavi. We don't know the exact time where he was. We don't know the exact king under whom he was. We don't know what are his actual works. So all the details that we have are assumptions or some amount of facts which are not completely proven. So, but the only advantage about Vishakhadatta is in this Mudrarakshasam in the beginning itself, he mentions the name of his father and grandfather. So whenever you write a work, you usually dedicate it to someone. So you write, if you write a book, you'll dedicate it to your mother, your sister, someone. So in the same way, in the beginning of this Nataka, during the dedication period, he has mentioned that his father was Bhaskara and his grandfather was Vateshwara Datta. So these are the two people who he has named. So from this, we understand that they come under the Datta family and historians. So once you know the names,
Vishakhadatta proves it.
Yeah, Vishakhadatta proves it. But at least you should know that if it's just a fictional name he has given, or if they were actually there. And historians, what they do is they take these names and see if in history any of these names have occurred. And when they search, they actually found that these Datta family, these two people, Bhaskara and Vateshwara Datta, these two people from Datta family actually existed in history, and they were residing in the place called Kanauj. Kanya Kubja was the previous name. So presently, like, it was renamed as Kanauj. So based on these facts, what the historians have told is probably Datta family lived in the time of 5th century. So the Datta family lived, but this particular Datta, Vishakhadatta, lived in the 5th century. That is based on these facts that we have obtained based on the name of father and grandfather. Also, what is known is these Datta family people were well known for their Rajaniti, that is their state affairs. So they were very good in state affairs, and they were the advisors to the king, because the king has so many things to do. He has to look after the kingdom. He has to, if there is some war, he has to battle. So in all these things, he'll have ministers, and each minister is well versed in something. So he'll have a commander to tell him about the army. Similarly, this Datta family were mainly there to guide him
poets.
Poems. They were there to guide him in state affairs. So whenever there is something related to Rajaniti, politics, they used to guide him. So Datta family was famous for that. And that is why Vishakhadatta's Mudrarakshasam also deals with politics. And it is accredited to his father and grandfather for well-versed in politics. Now, based on these facts, it is thought that the king of Kanauj, the exact name is not known. No, exact name is not known, but it is told that it's just mentioned as Kanya Kubjeshwar, which is the king of Kanauj. So he was probably the person who was supporting the Datta family.
Is the king Harsha?
We don't know the name. So historians have not found the exact name, but all they have found is some relation to Kanya Kubjeshwara in most of the works. And again, he lived probably in the 5th century, is just an assumption. Again, based on the work, relating to the works of Vishakhadatta, no exact details are known. Only thing is, they have thought that based on the writing style, they have thought that there are only 2 works of Vishakhadatta that are available. One is Mudrarakshasam and another one is Devi Chandraguptam. Devi Chandraguptam. So based on again the names itself, we can tell that he lived after Chandragupta Maurya one. Because if he has to write about Chandragupta, he should have seen or heard about Chandragupta. So based on these facts, some assumptions are made about his time. Now coming to this particular story. So this is the only details known about the poet. Coming to this particular work called Mudrarakshasam, when you hear the name, it feels like you're talking about it being like a Brahma Rakshasa or something. But actually it is not about that. It's a very different story, very unique story, but a very well written story. So if you see the previous two works that we discussed, Abhignana Shakuntalam as well as Swapna Vasavadattam, it was Shringara Rasa Pradhana. So you have Navarasas, Shringara, Hasya, Bhivatsa, Karuna, Raudra, Shanta, all these you have. These,
love.
yeah, so the emotion of love is the predominant character in Abhignana Shakuntalam as well as Swapna Vasavadattam. But this particular Mudrarakshasam is Veera Rasa Pradhana. So it is totally based on bravery, courage, and all these aspects. And the beauty is, whenever you write a Nataka, you try to add so much of humor, hasya, because if you want the viewers to stay and watch the complete Nataka, you want them to enjoy some part of it, so you bring in hasya. But this Mudrarakshasam does not have hasya at all. So there is no Vidushaka to bring in humor. There is no Shringara Rasa, there is no emotion of love. So the entire story is just
about courage and bravery.
Only Veera Rasa. And the thing is, if you want to write such a story, you should be capable that the author does not get bored. Because if you have so much in a thriller story, also, even if you watch any thriller movie, there will be some amount of comedy that is brought in, so that the person who's seeing does not lose interest. But to write an engrossing story that does not have any humor at all is a very difficult task to do. And Vishakhadatta has done that in Mudrarakshasam. So the entire story, there is no hasya at all. And again, so in the previous this thing I've told you that Swapna Vasavatta was a 5 pancha anka nataka. That is, there are 5 scenes. In this particular Mudrarakshasa, there are 7 scenes. So Saptanka Nataka. Now, coming to the story line. So what is this Mudrarakshasa actually about? The story is about Chanakya.
Oh, Chanakya Nanda.
So Chanakya is the main character. But again, so we may think that the hero usually is the person contributing maximum to the story.
Chandragupta Maurya.
But Chandragupta is the hero of the story, even though Chanakya plays the major role in the Nataka.
He is a Rajaguru.
He is, yeah, you can call him with different names, but Chanakya is, he is a Brahmin finally, but this entire story is about Chanakya. Now, Chanakya, we know the original name of Chanakya is Vishnugupta, and he was a Brahmin. The story revolves around 3 main characters. Chanakya is one, Chandragupta is the second, and finally the third one is a person called Rakshasa.
Oh, Rakshasa, I'll try to kill him.
So Rakshasa is the person from whom this Nataka gets partially the name Mudrarakshasam. So we'll come to who is this Rakshasa when I tell you the background story.
He's the minister of Nanda.
So we'll come to that when we come to the background of the story. But now you have to understand that Mudrarakshasam, the story comes from Chanakya, Chandragupta and Rakshasa. As I've told you, it is a 7 Anka Nataka and it is totally based on Rajaniti, politics, and it is totally based on trickery. So you can, when
try to kill him using that.
There is no killing in this. That is the beauty. Whenever you see Veera Rasa Pradhana,
you'll try to drug Chandragupta by Vishakanya.
That is there. So the thing is, the beauty, as I've told you, Kavis, they take the original story and they make it beautiful. And the beauty of Vishakhadatta is he takes the actual story in which Chandragupta wins over Nandas. There is a lot of bloodshed involved. But the way he narrates the story, there is no bloodshed at all. So without a single drop of bloodshed, he depicts the actual story wherein Chandragupta wins over Nandas. So that is how the beauty of this story is increased by Vishakhadatta. Now, this work, Mudrarakshasam, describes Chanakya Niti. Chanakya Niti, if you read, like when we describe this entire story, you'll come to know that Chanakya Niti is a very harsh Niti. Because it is not like any normal type of rules. It is a very harsh rule wherein you see that the only rule that Chanakya believes is do not trust anyone, doubt everyone. That is the only rule that Chanakya believes. Trust no one, doubt everyone. And the other rule that Chanakya believes is a person is your friend until he does what you want. the person that the moment that he stops doing what you want or he does not do what you want, he's your enemy, and he should be eliminated. That is Chanakya. So it is very harsh when you hear, but that is how Chanakya survived, and that's how he made Chandragupta survive. And this entire story gives you so many instances of these two rules. So now we'll go into the plot of how this Chanakya Mudrarakshasam has come into picture. Now, the plot revolves around the very famous incident of Chanakya taking a vow that he will destroy Nandas. So in a particular assembly,
Because they laughed because of him.
No. The thing is, that is Brahmins used to have that shikha, but the thing is, Chandragupta, the Nandas will be ruling the city of Pataliputra. And once the king will have an opening for a position of Dhanadipati. So a person who is involved in charity and who look after the money matters, and it will usually be Brahmanas who will be given these positions. So Chanakya is actually a very intelligent person who is, his knowledge is excellent. And from a very young age, it is told that he had the lakshanas of becoming a king. So his mother used to always, worry that, okay, my son will leave me once he becomes the king. So she'll always be worrying, and he'll tell that, don't worry. So once he comes to know that there is a position for this particular role, he'll apply to that. So when he applies, he'll go to the, Rajya Sabha for that particular incident to, discuss about that matter. And what will happen is,
in the real story, it will be a minister. He'll be plucking grass.
That's what. So Vishakhadatta's Mudrarakshasa will change it in a way that the storyline goes in a desired manner. So what happens when he goes there? The ruler, the Nanda ruler at that point of time is called Dhanananda. He is the ruler at that point of time. He is the ruling. There are there are 9 thrones. One is for Dhanananda, and the remaining 8 are for his 8 sons. All of them are Nanda family. So when he enters, the 8 sons are sitting, and there is the main seat of Dhanananda, which is empty. So since he feels that he is probably the right person for this particular role, he'll go sit on that throne. And Nanda, of course, this is a story told. If you read the story of the conflict between Dhanananda and Chanakya, you have so many different aspects. Like each person gives his own interpretation, but this is the most common thing that I came across. So he goes, sits on the throne, and the soldiers come and tell that this is not your throne. Please come down. He will not move. Finally, Dhanananda comes to the court and he sees that okay, someone is sitting on his throne. So he'll tell that why are you sitting in here and what is your capability? And he'll tell that I've applied for the post of the Dhanadipati, and I feel that you have no other person who is as capable as me. So since I know that for sure that you have no other person but me, I'm already taking my position, is what he tells. Nanda is irritated. And again, the thing is, Chanakya never worried about his attire or his beauty. He never applied any paste, powder, anything. He never worried about his clothing. He went in a very, sometimes even in tattered dhoti. Sorry,
Shabby clothes.
yeah, shabby clothes. It's known for Chanakya is known for that shabby clothes, not washing the clothes that he wears. So seeing that,
Chandala.
not Chandala. Chandala is different. He wears dhoti, but it's it's dirty. He does not worry if it is cleaned or not. So he goes. So they make fun of him and they humor him and they finally criticize him, and he's thrown out of the place. At that point of time, Chanakya takes a vow that you humiliated me, so I will exterminate the entire Nanda family for my revenge. And that point of time, you usually have the
He cut the shika.
he does not cut. So you tie the shika. He leaves it. See, he opens the knot of the shika and tells that I will only tie my shika once the Nanda family is
There's a
completely.
phrase like it will be bad for the family if you remove the shika.
Yeah. You're telling in the actual granthas. Yeah. So that is what. So if you remove the shika, it means that it is not good. Even that's why Draupadi also, her hair was removed by Dushasana. Like she had not tied her hair, and she was brought in the same way to the sabha. And she also vowed that she won't tie her hair until the pratigna is completed. So a lady leaving her hair free, Brahmin leaving his shika free are both disastrous events, and it should never be done. That's why it's always told in scriptures that you should always tie your hair. So that is the reason behind all this. So this is done. So finally, Chanakya has come out of the palace taking a vow that he'll kill all the Nandas. That is the 9 Nandas, 8 plus 1. It takes 12 years for Chanakya to plan conspiracies and to make arrangements to finally kill all the Nandas using poison and different means of
medicine, drugs.
So different not indirect means, he kills all the 9
There is one
Nandas.
more person called Parvatak in the story.
That is in this story, not in the actual, in the killing of the Nandas is not there, but in the current story that we come to. So he has killed all the 9 Nandas. So the plot ends here. So the background plot of this story, Mudrarakshasam, is the 9 Nandas are killed, and Chanakya has he has found his choice of student, Chandragupta, whom he wants to place on the Nanda kingdom, Nanda throne. So that is a background story. And now comes the person Amatya Rakshasa. So Amatya Rakshasa, the minister of Nandas, is called Amatya Rakshasa. So a very beautiful name, probably a very good choice by his parents. But Amatya Rakshasa is the minister of Nandas. So he is a very dedicated person. So though the name is very cruel and very bad, he is a very nice person. And it is told, like, actually in Mudrarakshasam's commentaries, if you read commentaries about Mudrarakshasam, if they contrast or they compare Chanakya and Amatya Rakshasa, and they actually tell that in comparison, Chanakya is actually amazingly cruel and Rakshasa is amazingly kind. Though the name is very harsh to hear. So that is the comparison that they do. So finally, we'll come to the main plot that here. So the thing is, now Chanakya has killed all the 9 Nandas, and the current Nanda is called Sarvartha Siddhi. So Sarvartha Siddhi is the current ruler of the Nanda kingdom. Now, Chanakya has killed the 9 Nandas, but he still is not satisfied. He wants Chandragupta to sit on the throne of the Nanda, wherever that's ruling. So that's called Pataliputra, and the exact city is called Kusumapura. Magadha is a province, capital is Pataliputra, the city is called Kusumapura. So Kusumapura is the place where the kingdom is present. So he wants to place Chandragupta on that throne. And the beauty of Vishakhadatta is, as I told you, there is no bloodshed. So what happens is, once they are ready to conquer Kusumapura, they have a lot of allies. So some people do not like Nanda, some people want to fight against Nanda. So all of them come together and they join with Chandragupta, and they form a very big army. The army is so big that once Amatya Rakshasa comes to know that they have amassed such a huge army and they are coming to attack, he realizes the chances of Nanda's winning over this battle is nearly zero. So what he does is, rather than shedding innocent blood and causing so much of warfare, that's why. So now you again realize the beauty of Amatya Rakshasa's kindness. He is kind, and he feels that there is no need of bloodshed. So he tells Salavartha Siddhi that, King, there is no means of winning over this battle. So the best thing that you can do is now you escape to the forest, stay in hiding. I will surely re-establish Nandas on this kingdom. So that is his, again, now Amatya Rakshasa takes an oath that he will reinstate Nandas into the same capital. And at this point of time, what happens is,
Chandragupta takes the throne.
so Sarvartha Siddhi escapes. He goes into this forest, and finally he decides, okay, my time of ruling is done, so he'll take Vanaprastha. So he has taken Vanaprastha, wherein he is attained, it's just a step before Sannyasatva, wherein he accepts ascetic life. So he has taken ascetic life, and he does not want the kingdom. And he goes there. And again, Amatya Rakshasa also, making sure that everything is, so every one of the followers are safely sent back, he'll also run to the forest. This is the plot. So without any bloodshed, when they enter the kingdom, it's open for them to occupy. Ready to occupy. This is the city of Kusumapura. So they come and they say, the king is placed on the throne very easily. But that is not the end of Chanakya's plan. He's not happy. So what is the intention of Chanakya guiding? No, that is done, because Sarvartha Siddhi is gone. We'll come to the story of what happens to Sarvartha Siddhi, but Chanakya's only intention was Nanda should be removed from the kingdom, Chandragupta should be placed. So he has no intention of becoming a minister, because he never liked royalty, he never liked the ministry post and all. So he wants to let go of the position of ministry, but he still wants Chandragupta to have a very good minister. So his plan is bring Amatya Rakshasa and make him the minister of Chandragupta. So that is this, the third plan. So first plan was kill 9 Nandas. Second plan, remove Nandas and put Chandragupta. Third plan is make Amatya Rakshasa the minister of Chandragupta. So that is his plan. Yes, that is what is the entire story of Mudrarakshasam. The tactics used by Chanakya to bring Amatya Rakshasa and make him the minister, because he knows if you directly call Amatya Rakshasa, he will surely not support you, because he is a supporter of Nandas and he will surely not want to do this. So he has to force Amatya Rakshasa in a way that
by torturing him.
Actually, there is no torture at all. It is finally, it's like Amatya Rakshasa has no other means but to accept the position of minister. So
So
that is
they
what.
block other ways.
So how he does this story. So this is the story. And again, Sarvartha Siddhi has now taken up Vanaprastha, and Amata Rakshasa has vowed to bring back Nandas into the Pataliputra kingdom. So he finds there are only two ways of doing this. One is he kills Chanakya or Chandragupta or both. First method. Second method is Amata Rakshasa is thinking. He's thinking like this. So if I have to bring back Nandas, there are only two ways. One is kill Chandragupta or Chanakya or both of them if possible. Second thing is, the only reason why Chandragupta is still strong is he has a lot of people supporting him. So I should remove the support that he has so that everyone comes to my side. If Chandragupta is alone, even if he has Chanakya, there is very less chances that he'll again be able to reconquer. So these are the two ways. So this is the plot. So remember, this is the background plot, and the main storyline of this thing is the methods employed by Chanakya to make Amata Rakshasa the minister of Chandragupta. So now, before we get into this, you have to know that Chanakya calls Chandragupta not as Chandragupta, he calls him as Vrishala. Vrishala is the name by which Chanakya calls Chandragupta, because first thing is, Chandragupta is not, Chanakya does not consider Chandragupta as a king. He considers him to be his student, or rather a low person who is below him. So never does Chanakya call Chandragupta as Chandragupta Maurya. He calls him as Vrishala. So it is like calling him in a nickname, telling that he does not worry that he's a king, because he's a person, he's a kingmaker. Chanakya is a kingmaker, so he always calls Chandragupta as Vrishala. And nowhere in the entire, okay, I'll tell there is a beauty in that, but Chandragupta calls Chanakya as his guru or as a revered one, and he never calls him by his name, except for one place which we'll discuss. Is a beautiful place.
Guru.
Guru is the only thing. So he's like, he always, whenever he sees Chanakya, he'll just fall to the ground.
Oh, one more place is where I am the king. There is a plot actually.
So the thing is, whenever Chanakya is seen by Chandragupta, he just even though he is the king of such a big kingdom, he'll just fall on the floor and prostrate before him. So that is the devotion he has, and he knows, I am nothing. It is only because of Chanakya that I have reached this position. So that is the respect he has. Now, at the beginning of all this, as you know, there is a Sutradhara who comes into the picture. And the beauty of Vishakhadatta is, in the conversation between the Sutradhara and the Nati, so Nati is the female Sutradhara, they bring the concept that there is a Chandra Grahana that is happening. So they are discussing about a Chandra Grahana. And the Nati tells that, oh Sutradhara, Rahu and Ketu are coming and capturing Chandra. That is the dialogue that they mentioned. And in the background, Chanakya starts screaming. Who is it that who wants to capture Chandra? By Chandra, he means Chandragupta. So that is the beauty that the Kavi employs to relate something very common, like Chandra Grahana. So Grahana is Amata Rakshasa here. So he trying to conquer Chandra.
Which is actually Vrishala.
So he trying to capture Chandragupta is beautifully brought out by Chandra Grahana concept. And Chanakya in the background gives that loud noise. Who is it that who wants me to not untie my knot again? Is trying to capture Chandragupta. That beautiful phrase is the beginning of this Nataka. And then coming to the actual story. So as I have told, there are 7 different sections. I'm sure we won't be able to complete all the 7. So we'll divide this particular lesson, Sukthirathnani, into 2 classes, because in Swapnavasatta the story was direct. So there are 2 people who want to there are 2 people who are in love. One person dies and the other person is to be married. Very straightforward plot. Since Mudrarakshasa is a tricky plot, it's more like a thriller plot, you have a lot more characters. So in Swapnavasatta, the main characters are like Vasavadatta, Udayana, and the Padmavati. So these are the 3 main people with Yogandarayana. But here, though there are only 3 main characters, the plot does not get its meaning unless you consider all the other people who are involved. So the plot has like around 20 people in it, and all of them have important tasks. So I don't want to make it a very shallow lesson. So this particular Mudrarakshasam will take 2 classes and we'll complete it, because I want to give you very good details about it. So if you have read Agatha Christie's, thriller stories or Dan Brown's books, you'll always realize that thriller plots are difficult to write, because you have they bring in a lot more characters. To only the reason is they want to create so many interlinks that you get confused and you are gripped to the story. So that is what even Mudrarakshasam does. So we will start with the story, and we will see how many sections or scenes we can complete. So each scene is given a name, and I will tell you the name, but I'll tell you the intention behind the name later on when the time is perfect. If you read Mudrarakshasam right out of the book, Vishakhadatta does not give you any suspense. So he'll tell you what Chanakya is doing and what is the intention and what is the secret behind it. He'll reveal. But to keep you in it, I will not reveal that a secret. So I will keep the secret till the right point, and I'll try to maintain the suspense of the story. Okay, I hope that will be very good. So now we'll start with the story. Now Chanakya has understood that Amatya Rakshasa wants to bring back Nandas. So what he does is, the first thing in the very first act, the first act is called Mudra Labha. So why the name Mudra Rakshasa? We have understood why Rakshasa has come. We'll describe why the Mudra has come in the name in this particular act. Mudra Labha is the name of this particular scene. Now Chanakya in the very first act, he is thinking, what can I do that Amatya Rakshasa does not neglect my offer of becoming the minister? And he describes that he has done so many different ways, he has performed so many different actions so that Amatya Rakshasa does not have any other means. The first thing that he tells is, now Sarvartha Siddhi had taken Manaprastha and he had left. But to make sure that Rakshasa does not have any means of reinstating Nandas, he gets Sarvartha Siddhi killed. So Sarvartha Siddhi is killed so that there is no Nanda left for Amatya Rakshasa to support.
No, but what about Sarvartha Siddhi's son?
Sarvartha Siddhi's son is not there in the picture. Okay, and when Chandragupta is occupying this particular Magadha kingdom, especially this kingdom of Pataliputra, he is supported by a king called Parvateshwara or Parvataka. So both are the names of the same person. So Parvataka or Parvateshwara.
He is supported only because of richness. Because in the real story, it's saying that Chanakya tells that I'll give you half of Magadha.
Yeah, that is there. Even in this it is there. So Parvataka is the main person supporting Chandragupta, and hence he is promised half of the kingdom. That is, half of whatever they conquer will be Chandragupta's.
Because of greed.
Yeah, that is that. So any kingdom will, any king will accept it because he has some particular intention of gaining. So that is what he has decided. So Parvataka has is promised half of the kingdom, and Chandragupta half of the kingdom. So now, what happens is, Parvataka actually, what happens is killed.
And because of the spy gets to know that Parvataka is joined hands with Rakshas.
That is not the case. So we'll come to the, that's what I'm keeping the suspension here, so I'm not revealing the plot. So Parvataka is killed, and though it's a false blame, Chanakya makes sure that Parvataka's son is called Malaya Ketu. So Malaya Ketu.
Sorry, who is Parvataka?
Parvataka is a person who supported Chandragupta in conquering this.
Malaya Ketu. Then Chanakya sends a fake message and sends a messenger for him to purposefully be caught.
So no, probably in the actual story, but in Vishakhadatta what happens is, Malaya Ketu is the son of Parvataka, and Chanakya makes sure that Malaya Ketu comes to know by some false news that Chanakya is the person who was the cause of Parvataka's death. Why he did this again is a suspicion point which I'll keep for later. So Parvataka now has the opinion that Chanakya, in order to give the complete kingdom to Chandragupta, killed Parvataka. So now Parvataka's son Malaya Ketu goes and joins Amatya Rakshasa because he is now offended by Chandragupta's actions. Now Malaya Ketu is supported by 5 different kings from 5 different smaller provinces, and he's supported by a big army called the Mlecha army. So Mlecha army plus the 5 small provinces are supporting Malaya Ketu, and that entire gang goes and joins Amatya Rakshasa. Now, why Chanakya did this was, as I've told you, Chanakya's only intention
because he wants to kill all the 5 kings.
That is later on. That is the reason that he comes with later on. But as I've told you, trust no one, doubt everyone. Once a person, so he actually in Chanakya Niti stated, if a person is stronger than you, kill him. If a person is becoming stronger than you, kill him. Until a person is weaker than you, keep him. Since Parvataka was becoming strong, Parvateshwara was becoming strong, and he was promised half of the kingdom, he felt that, okay, if I let him be, in the future it can cause harm to Chandragupta, so he got him killed. How he got him killed is later, but as of now, that has happened.
Plot.
So after that has happened, this particular situation is, now Parvataka's son has gone and joined Amatya Rakshasa. Now, why Amatya Rakshasa why Chanakya wants Amatya Rakshasa to become the minister of Chandragupta is, Amatya Rakshasa knows the people of citizens of Pataliputra. He knows what they like, what they dislike, how they want the kingdom to be run. So if he comes and joins, people will accept his words more easily. So if Amatya Rakshasa starts giving orders, everyone will, even though the king is different, even though he's not Ananda, since Amatya Rakshasa is the person who was interacting with the citizens, if he comes and gives the orders, since Amatya Rakshasa is the person who interacted and who is well known among the people, if he starts giving orders as a minister, people will accept Chandragupta Maurya. So that is his intention. Now, what happens is, Chanakya is a person who thinks 100 steps before his enemies. So what he has done is he has already placed all his spies in different parts of the city, in different people's places, to get information from everywhere and to influence their, whatever they think he wants to influence. So he has placed his spies and he's happy with that. And as I've told you, he has spread the news that, so the people, the citizens think that Amatya Rakshasa killed Parvataka, but only Malayaketu thinks that Chanakya killed Parvataka. So there are two different news. So the citizens don't like Malayaketu, but the people don't like Amatya Rakshasa. So Amatya Rakshasa is enemy for the citizens, whereas Malayaketu, Chanakya is an enemy. That is a plot. So it's already confusing. So Chanakya has told that I killed your father to Malayaketu. So Malayaketu does not like Chandragupta. Malayaketu does not like Chanakya or Chandragupta. But the citizens have been told that Amatya Rakshasa killed Parvataka. Hence they don't like Amatya Rakshasa. So this is the two-way plot that he has created. Now, there is a spy called, and again, the name of spies, everything, etc., that are mentioned in Mudrarakshasam are the creation of Vishakhadatta. And the naming he has done is also very good. So based on that character, he has given the names to the spies. So one spy is called Nipunaka because he's very clever. So Nipunaka is one of the spies of Chanakya, who comes and tells about the first act. He comes and gives his whatever information he has got. He comes and tells it to this particular Chanakya. In that particular place, what he tells is there are three different people in this city who are not your supporters, O Chanakya. They don't like you nor the king. Who are those three people are? One is a person called Shakatadas. So Shakatadas is the person who looks after the accounts and the written man. He's a pen man. So whatever accounts has to be written, Shakatadas writes. Second person is Chandan Das. So Chandan Das is considered to be one of the best friends of Amatya Rakshasa, and he is a jewel person. So he sells jewels and gems, and he's a very rich person. And he's the only person that Amatya Rakshasa completely trusts. And the third person is called Jiva Siddhi. He's a Buddhist or Jain monk who is. So these three people are supporters of Amatya Rakshasa, and they are trying to spoil your plans. Is what this particular spy, Chanakya's plans, is what Nipunaka, this particular spy, tells Chanakya. So these three people you should be careful of. Now, what happens is, after Amatya Rakshasa has left, his family is still there. So, in order to protect his family, the only person he trusts is Chandan Das. So, he has left his entire family under the vigilance of Chandan Das, and Amatya Rakshasa is fled to the forest. Because, of course, he can't take the entire family. They'll be detected and it will be difficult for the family. So, he's left the entire family under Chandan Das's protection. Now, what happens is, this Nipunaka, when he is roaming around the city trying to find information, he goes to a particular. So actually, the beauty is he dresses himself as a person who is a worshipper of Yama. This Nipunaka, he goes around as a worshipper of Yama and he starts singing songs of Yama in front of all the people's house. So people are scared of him because Yama, we know that we should be scared of him. So he starts singing songs. So what happens is, near one of the particular places, so he goes to Chandan Das's house, near Chandan Das's house, and he starts singing. At that point of time, a young boy comes out of the house curiously, and he starts, sitting there and he starts listening to that particular song. What happens is, at that point, from the inside the house, a particular woman gets her hand out and she pulls the boy aside, telling him to come inside. At that point of time, a ring falls out from her hand. Nipunaka, he does not, make any quick actions, but he's, once everything is clear, he picks up that ring and he sees that it has the logo of Amatya Rakshasa. Oh. That is Mudra. Mudra is a stamp. So in the previous stamps never used to be like the rubber stamp. So the rings itself used to have the stamps, which they used to have the seal, and they used to use it for stamping. So that is by Mudrarakshasam, the signet or the symbol of Amatya Rakshasa. That gives the name Mudrarakshasam. So he realizes, okay, that is the family of Amatya Rakshasa who is sitting in Chandan Das's house, and he picks up that particular mudra and he comes to Chanakya. The thing is, if you have a stamp, you have the entire power with you. So with that particular signet, Chanakya plays the complete plot of Mudrarakshasam. So he has the mudra with him, and he feels, yes, now is the chance to defeat Amartya Rakshasa, and he calls his servant. He's called Sharangrava. So he's called Sharangrava and tells that get a letter written by Shakatadas. So the thing is, your handwriting will vary. Shakatadas's handwriting is not to everyone because everything written in Nanda's kingdom was written by Shakatadas. So he'll tell, get a letter written by Shakatadas and he'll stamp it with this mudra. And the matter that should be written, he'll tell it secretly. So that is again a suspicion point. He does not tell what it is openly. So it is secretly told plot that something has to be written by Shakatadas and that should be stamped with Amartya Rakshas's mudra. So there is a particular spy who comes, who takes a pamphlet, gets something written by Shakatadas, and it is brought back. And our Chanakya very beautifully stamps the mudra of Amartya Rakshasa, rolls it, gives it to the spy. That letter has been brought. So that's why the name of this lesson, particular scene is called Mudra Labham, the obtaining of mudra. Now, finally, what happens is now he wants to finally make our Amartya Rakshasa yield. So first thing he does is he gets Jiva Siddhi. So there are three people that the spy warned about. One is Jiva Siddhi, Shakatadas, and Chakatadas. So what he does is he gets Jiva Siddhi banished. So he'll blame that based on Amartya Rakshasa's orders, this Jiva Siddhi poisoned our king Parvataka and he killed him. So please banish him. So based on that, he's banished from the kingdom. And he calls the police and tells that capture Shakatadas and put him in prison. He'll be executed later on. Once this is done, he'll call Chandan Das for interrogation. So Chandan Das is sitting there for interrogation, and in the background there are people shouting, "Fire on this person, throw him out," and all that. And Chanakya asks his student, "What is happening?" So he tells, "Okay, based on your orders, Jiva Siddhi, the person who was a traitor, he's being banished from the palace." Chandan Das, he's trying to intimidate Chandan Das. He's trying to scare Chandan Das by doing all this. So Chandan Das, the first scare is Jiva Siddhi, who was the supporter of Amartya Rakshasa, is being sent out. As the interrogation progresses, second thing is Shakatadas is told that he'll be executed in public. So in the background, people are shouting, "Kill him, kill the traitor," and all they're shouting. So Chandan Das his fear is starting to increase. So as this is happening, Chanakya tries to get him to open up. He'll tell, "Do you have Amartya Rakshas's family living in your house?" So Chandan Das is now come to know that Chanakya doubts him, so he has sent the family away. So there, Chanakya is inquiring. So where have you sent the family? Where have you hidden the family? But he's not ready to disclose. So in the background, Shakatadas is brought to the execution place and he is to be executed. So that he can hear. So Chandadas is constantly hearing that orders that are being passed. So the executioner comes, he is showing his Karoria. So he is intimidating the people with the axe, and he is running around telling that I will kill Shakatadas today, the traitor who tried to kill Chanakya, Chandandas and all that. Sorry, Chandragupta and all that. So in the background, what happens is a particular person called Siddharthaka. So Siddharthaka comes, and in the middle of the chaos, he rescues Shakatadas and he runs away with him. So execution is to happen, and in the meantime, in the chaos that is happening, Siddharthaka is a person who comes, who rescues Shakatadas from the clutches of the executioner, and he runs away. Both of them run away. And this incident is brought to the notice. So the person, the Sharangrava, the student of Chanakya, comes and tells, "Oh Chanakya, Shakatadas who had to be executed has escaped with a person called Siddharthaka, and what has to be done?" So now Chanakya tells, "Oh, that is a very bad thing to happen. Okay, so what you do is Bhagurayana is a minister of Chandragupta. So it tells, tell Bhagurayana to chase those two people and capture them." Sharangrava, he goes and he goes to inform, but he comes back immediately and tells that, "Oh king, oh Chanakya, something bad has again happened. Bhagurayana has also fled and he has joined Amartya Rakshasa." Now Chanakya thinks, okay, this is very bad. He tells, okay, we have Bana Gupta, so there are different 4 or 5 commanders, like equivalent commanders, who are very good at fighting. So he tells, okay, tell these 4 or 5 people. So the names exactly are Bana Gupta, Jala Gupta, so there are different people. So he tells, okay, ask them to chase Bhagurayana, Shakatadas, as well as Siddharthaka, capture them. So Sharangrava goes, immediately comes back, "Sir, they have also joined the Amartya Rakshasas gang." So in the first plot itself, Shakatadas has escaped. Some other person called Siddharthaka has helped him escape. But Chandragupta's minister Bhagurayana has escaped, and his 4 or 5 commanders, army chiefs, they have also escaped and joined Amatya Rakshasa. So now Chanakya is at a low side because he has lost people who were supporting him. So now this is the end of the first scene, that is Mudra Lava. So he has got the Mudra, but before he could use it in an efficient way, people have started doing the wrong ways. So this is the first scene. So we'll complete second scene and we'll conclude the meeting for now. So now in the second scene, the second scene's second scene's name is called Rakshasa Vichara, the plots of Rakshasa. So now Rakshasa is sitting in his tent. So as you know, he has been banished from the kingdom. So he does not have a palace. So he is living in a temporary tent. So in the tent, what happens is there is a snake charmer. So his name is called Jeerna Visha. So the name is also beautiful. Jeerna Visha, one who can digest Visha, poison. So his name is called Jeerna Visha. He's a snake charmer. And he goes around showing snake sports. So he'll make the snake stand up, make the snake move around. He's a snake charmer finally. So he's beautifully playing around, and finally he comes and tells, okay, let me show my snake's charming skills to our minister Amatya Rakshasa. And he comes to the place where Amatya Rakshasa is staying. So the servant there asks, who are you? So the person tells, I am a snake charmer, I want to show my skills to Amatya Rakshasa. The servant will tell, okay, wait here, I'll go tell Amatya Rakshasa. Amatya Rakshasa tells, hey, no, I don't have, any interest because I'm already, of course, he does not know all the incidents that have happened, that all these 4 or 5 people have escaped and joined Amatya Rakshasa. Amatya Rakshasa does not know that yet because, of course, you didn't have phone at that point of time. So the news took a lot of time to reach the person. So he does not know. He's still in thought that, okay, I have made so many plans, but will they be successful and all? He's thinking. So I don't have time for snake sports, so tell him to go. The servant comes out and tells, okay, snake charmer, Amatya Rakshasa does not want, you go away. Then he tells, okay, at least tell that I'm a poet also, and have a poem for him, make him listen to the poem, and then give me what he tells. So he'll tell a beautiful story which tells that honeybees, they go to a lot of flowers and collect the nectar with so much of effort. But humans, in a matter of seconds, they take the honey away and they put the efforts of honeybees into vain. So the beautiful point is, he tells the flower as Kusuma, and the servant tells the exact words to Amatya Rakshasa, and the Amatya Rakshasa immediately realizes, in this particular shloka, Kusuma means Kusumapura. So again, if you read Mudrarakshasa, all the stories, they have 2 meanings. So if you read the actual story, the shloka, you'll feel that, okay, honeybees are collecting nectar from a flower and they are being taken away by human beings. But the actual meaning is, I am the honeybee who's collecting all the information about Kusuma, that is Kusumapura, and I've come to you, and you are the human being who will just take away the information from me. So I am indirectly saying that I'm your spy. So indirectly, because Chanakya and Amatya Rakshasa, the beauty is, the person next to them does not know who is supporting Amatya Rakshasa. So the servant does not know that he has spies and he is the spy. So indirectly, to tell that I'm your spy, he tells this shloka. Once Amatya Rakshasa listens, okay, he tells, okay, this is my spy. He has come to inform me about something happening in Kusumapura. And he tells, okay, I love poems, so please get the poet and I listen to him. Once he comes in and tells, okay, you go. I want to have a individual discussion with this poet. Once he tells, he'll look at him and he'll understand, okay, the actual name of the spy is called Vidyadhara. So Vidyadhara is the name of the spy who has taken the form of Jeerna Visha. So he comes and he sits down and he asks, okay, I'm very happy to see you, spy Vidyadhara. So what are your informations? So Vidyadhara tells, first thing he tells is, sir, I'm very sorry to tell you, all your efforts have been a failure. What are the efforts? Now we come to know. So what happens is, so we know that Amatya Rakshasa thought that there are 2 ways to remove Chandragupta. One is to kill Chandragupta or Chanakya, or remove the supporters. So what he would have done is, when Chandragupta has won over the kingdom of Pataliputra and he wants to come into the kingdom, so there is a procession that's going on. So what happens is, you have a main arch through which you enter. So he has appointed a carpenter and an architect who are his spies, such that once Chandragupta enters into the ark, the huge ark will fall on him and he'll die. That's called Torana Bhagna. So that particular incident is called Torana Bhagna. So he has some spies who are doing this for him. But what happens is, of course, he's Chanakya. He'll understand what is when Chanakya sees something, his IQ is so high that he'll understand that something is wrong. So what he'll do is, he'll dress another neighboring king in Chandragupta's jewels, Chandragupta's crowns, and he'll make him go on Chandragupta's elephant. So Chandralekha is the name of Chandragupta's elephant. He'll make him go on that. So of course, people in those times, they never had a photograph of Chandragupta to see, okay, is he the person and compare. Just seeing the crown, because the only identification things are, one is his elephant, one are the ornaments, one are the crown. These three things are there. He's Chandragupta. So they make that entire arc fall on him, and that king dies. Again, the reason is he was becoming strong, so he had to kill him. So the indirect ways, why not replace him, Chandragupta, with him? So he got him killed. And what is the other incident is, Chanakya is also intelligent. He'll understand that these carpenters and architects are supporting Amatya Rakshasa. So what he'll do is, he'll make sure that those people will be sitting on the ark at a point wherein they'll open some, let us say, some screws so that it falls. So what he will do is, he'll send his own carpenters to make sure that once that screw is pulled, the seats on which these two people, these spies of Amatya Rakshasa, are sitting, they'll also fall. So in one particular, in the same scene, those two people pull the screws, it falls on the duplicate Chandragupta, and the duplicate Chandragupta dies. Instantly, those two supporters of Amatya Rakshasa, they also fall and die. So ek maar do tukada. So one bullet and you hit multiple arrows, one target. So that is Chanakya's Niti. So that is done. So the spy is telling. So this was the first effort that failed. The second effort was to send a Vishakanya. So Vishakanya is a very common thing that was there in the previous. It is told in our ancient scriptures that there were some group of women who were trained from a very young age by injecting poison in them, so that they become immune to the poison, but they can generate poison. So if they, let us say, they cut their vein, instead of blood, they have poison coming in. So something like that. So let us say you are a person who wants to kill someone. If you take a poison vial with you, when you are checked, you will come to know. But if your body itself is poison, there is no way of checking. So that is why this Vishakanya concept is very famous in our scriptures. If you read those old stories, Vishakanya is a common person. So he sends a Vishakanya to kill Chandragupta. But what happens is, again, Chanakya uses his intelligence. He replaces Chandragupta with Parvataka. So this is how Parvateshwara or Parvataka is killed. So instead of injecting venom to Chandragupta, the venom is injected into our Parvataka.
Does not know that this is.
That's what. So there is no means of identification. If someone resembles some, okay, someone will tell you, okay, so Chandragupta wears this type of crown, he wears this type of jewels, he holds this type of khadga. That is the only identification. You see those three, you decide that he's Chandragupta. So the same thing happened. So Vishakanya killed Parvataka instead of Chandragupta. And that's how the story started, and Maliya Ketu joined Amatya Rakshasa. Second, he'll tell, okay, so this plot also, it failed. Oh, Amatya Rakshasa. Amatya Rakshasa said, oh, what to do? Next, the third thing what happens is, there is a particular physician or a doctor. So when Chandragupta, usually Chandragupta, has this thing of taking medicine. So like how you have kashaya in the medicinal water, he also has the habit of taking it. So this particular doctor is a spy of Amatya Rakshasa, and he tries to add poison into this particular medicinal water that Chandragupta drinks. But Chanakya understands it. He makes that same physician drinks the same water. He dies. Another plot is, so the thing is, some supporters of Amatya Rakshasa and Nandas, they plan to enter Chandragupta's sleeping chambers and kill him in sleep. So they have built a secret chamber inside Chandragupta. So they have dug a secret chamber. They are staying there. Once Chandragupta comes and sleeps in the night, they'll come and kill him. So that is the plan. But Chanakya, he's as he's roaming around, he sees that in a particular wall, there's a crack and ants are coming out. So there are some food grains that are being carried by the ants. A wall, how will food grains be inside a wall? Be inside a wall. So you'll realize, okay, there are some people who are living in. So of course, the plant takes so much of time, so they have to have their food supplies, everything. So they're having their food supplies inside that chamber, and these ants have started getting some of those food grains. So he realized that, okay, so there are some people who are waiting behind this wall to kill Chandragupta. So what he tells is, he'll call his servants. He'll tell, I didn't like this Chandragupta sleeping chamber, burn it. So they burn it, and there's no escape for the people who are inside.
What will happen to Chandragupta?
Chandragupta has not come. So before Chandragupta comes, Chanakya is roaming around and he sees this and he tells, okay, let us, this Chandragupta's sleeping chambers are not good. Let us just burn this and build a new one. So they burn it and those people are killed. So all these attempts of killing Chandragupta of Amatya Rakshasa failed. Now Amatya Rakshasa feels, okay, my plans are done for, so I think there is no hope of winning. At that point of time, Vishakhadatta and Siddhartha, they enter. this Amata Rakshasa is immensely happy that a person who was in the clutches of Chanakya, he has escaped and come. So he's very happy, and he, as the Siddhartha tells, he'll tell, okay, please, as this person Siddhartha, he has helped me escape, so he is my very good friend. So he helped me from the execution. So even Amata Rakshasa, the thing is that's what Amata Rakshasa is very kind. So he'll believe everyone. So he'll tell that, okay, Siddhartha, you have been a very good help. Thank you. You have saved my friend. So what he'll do is, so Malaya Ketu, he would have sent some of his jewels. So it's, in order to make a contract that I'll support you, you have to give something. So Malaya Ketu would have given some jewels belonging to him to Amata Rakshasa, telling that this is the contract between you and me. And he'll tell that I want you to wear these because you are now my minister. Malaya Ketu will tell that. So he'll have those 3 ornaments. So what he'll do is, being very happy, he'll give one of those ornaments of Malaya Ketu to Siddhartha and tell that, oh, this thing, you have helped me a lot. Thank you, and this is your reward. And now Siddhartha will tell that the thing is, Amata Rakshasa, I actually was living in Pataliputra, but now I have helped someone escape from there. So if I go back there, I'll surely not live. So at least let me help me serve you and be in your service. Amata Rakshasa will tell, okay, no problem at all. You can join my service and you can help me. And he'll tell that, okay, Vishakhadatta he'll tell that, oh Vishakhadatta, please keep this ornament in your possession. And since I don't have any locker of something of my own, you keep it with you safely. I'll take it whenever I want. And Vishakhadatta will tell, okay, fine. So this is got. And again, now news comes that people have started joining. So Vishakhadatta has come back. So one of his friends is safe. Now he has got a supporter called Siddhartha, and he also gets information that Bhagurayana and all the other ministers have also joined. So now the initial plot in the start of the scene was very sad, wherein Amata Rakshasa was sad that all his plans have started failing. But now this particular incident brings him hope that, okay, now that people are coming to support me, now I have hope. So this is the end of this plot. And actually there is a small incident that happens. So what happens is, some people come to this particular place where Amata Rakshasa is staying, and they want to sell some ornaments. So there are some Brahmins, and they come to sell some ornaments. And once they know, of course, if you have ornaments, the intention is if you can melt them and use it for some other purpose. So Amata Rakshasa tells, okay, Vishakhadatta, please pay a price and buy this. We can use it later on. So that those ornaments are bought, and that is the end of this second scene. That is Rakshasa Vichara. So this is the end of second scene. We'll conclude today's meeting with this. Guru Reva Gatihi Guru Meva Bhaje Guru Naiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guru Paramam Shishurasmi Guru Matirasti Guru Mama Pahi Guru. Ram Ram Ram.